Ukraine strikes Russian naval vessel in Caspian Sea. Ukrainian drone forces have struck a Russian naval vessel in the Caspian Sea for at least the third time in recent months, publishing footage on May 17 showing a Firepoint FP-1 attack drone successfully locating and hitting a Project 10410 Svetlyak patrol boat in the port area of Kaspiisk, Dagestan, more than 1,500 kilometers from Ukraine's borders. The Unmanned Systems Forces of Ukraine released the strike footage, which shows the FP-1 drone approaching the Svetlyak from the stern. Russian military monitoring communities that analyzed the drone footage noted that the strike came directly from the side of the stern automatic artillery mount AK-630, which, judging by the heating of the barrel block, had recently fired, per their published analysis, suggesting the vessel had been actively engaging incoming drones before the successful hit. That detail implies the attack unfolded in a contested close-in defense environment rather than a surprise strike against an unprepared target, making the successful intercept of the ship's defenses and the subsequent hit operationally significant beyond the physical damage to the vessel itself. The Project 10410 Svetlyak is a Soviet and Russian-designed small patrol boat that entered service in the 1990s, displacing approximately 375 tons and armed with a 76mm automatic cannon, AK-630 close-in weapon systems, and surface-war missiles. The Caspian Flotilla operates several Svetlyak vessels, which have served primarily in coastal patrol and law enforcement roles in the Caspian, but gained military significance after Russia began using the flotilla to launch caliber cruise missile strikes against targets in Syria and, according to Ukrainian and Western assessments, potentially to support logistics and training operations relevant to the broader war effort. The Ukraine General Staff reported in mid-May that drones struck two Russian military vessels directly in the port of Kaspiisk, and local residents recorded video showing drones overflying the area, explosions, and what witnesses described as chaotic Russian air defense fire, according to Ukrainian media outlet Militarny. The combination of official Ukrainian claims, independently recorded civilian footage, and the drone strike video released by the Unmanned Systems Forces provides a relatively robust corroboration chain by the standards of Caspian Sea strike reporting, where independent verification has historically been difficult to obtain quickly. Kaspiisk sits in the Republic of Dagestan on Russia's Caspian coast, hosting the headquarters of the Russian Caspian Flotilla and its associated naval infrastructure. Its distance from Ukraine's internationally recognized borders, estimated at between 1,000 and 1,500 kilometers, depending on the route, makes any successful drone strike there a demonstration of operational reach that significantly exceeds what most observers considered plausible for Ukrainian unmanned systems even 12 months ago. That range extension reflects both the development of longer-endurance Ukrainian drone platforms and the accumulated operational experience of Ukrainian crews in planning and executing complex long-range strike missions. The Kaspiisk strikes are part of a developing pattern of Ukrainian operations in the Caspian domain that has escalated through late 2024 and into 2025 and 2026. In November 2024, Ukraine's main intelligence directorate conducted what it described as the first-ever attack on the Caspian flotilla, damaging Jeopard-class missile ships Tatarstan and Dagestan both. Project 11661 vessels armed with caliber cruise missiles. In December 2025, Ukrainian drones struck a Project 22460 Okhotnik patrol boat near the Filanovsky oil field extraction platform in the Caspian. The May 2026 strikes represent the third distinct phase of this campaign, adding the Svetlyak patrol boat, and, according to Ukrainian Special Operations Forces and General Staff, reporting strikes against three Lukoil offshore drilling platforms. The Lukoil platform strikes, if confirmed through independent damage assessment, carry economic and strategic significance beyond the naval dimension. The platforms targeted, named after V. Filanovsky, Yuri Korchagin, and Valery Grafer, are active hydrocarbon extraction facilities in the Russian sector of the Caspian, and Ukraine's stated rationale for targeting them was their use by Russia to support the logistical and economic needs of the occupation force, striking energy infrastructure at this distance from Ukrainian territory represents a significant escalation in the geographic scope of Ukraine's economic warfare campaign against Russian industrial capacity, extending a targeting logic that has previously been applied to refineries and energy facilities in western and central Russia into a completely different theater. Ukraine has been steadily expanding the geographic boundaries of its long-range strike campaign since the full-scale invasion began, and the Caspian has now become a recurring operational theater rather than a one-off demonstration. Whether Russian forces can adapt their Caspian defenses fast enough to prevent further losses will be one of the more consequential tactical questions of the coming months in a body of water where Moscow has long assumed it was operating far beyond the reach of any adversary.